now that I have them like next to each other, look at those fists. Look at the fists from Anakin and the ones from Obi-Wan. This looked absolutely bigger. So I don't know, am I tripping out here? Hello there, troopers, and welcome back to General Kenobi's Bunker. Today we have another 1/6 scale figure review. We got the Anakin Skywalker from Sideshow. Now this is based off of the Clone Wars show. I want to thank my friend Carlos for lending me this piece to be able to do this unboxing and review here on the channel. His link will be down in the description below. If this is the first time here on the channel, we like to do a lot of toy hunting, toy unboxing and reviews, trailer reactions, and we go live every Wednesday at around 8 p.m. Central on the high ground. So, if you like Star Wars, please make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you are notified every time we drop a new video. As usual, let's start with the packaging. And I'm just gonna say it right off the bat, this is pretty much the same concept as the Obi-Wan Kenobi, which we reviewed earlier here on the channel. If you haven't, make sure to check out that review on the link up here. So, we got the stylized Anakin Skywalker based on the Clone Wars show. And again, guys, nowhere on the box does it say Clone Wars at any point, which again, I still find that a little bit odd. Now I have to say that this is again the picture from the prototype and not the product itself. So very cool colors, very cool design. We got sort of like a Christopsis or Coruscant on the back, some ships up top, and the blue just really pops. So I definitely like this a little bit better than the usual black and gray that Sideshow does. So opening up the box reveals a very similar layout like we did with Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got the figure, couple of sabers, hologram, and then that band that basically covers the tray. Okay, so this is what's on the bottom of the tray, which is basically that stand that you guys know that I am not a fan of. And the extra set of hands. Now we only got 3 extra pairs here. And then the main figure comes on the main tray with the ignited lightsaber, hilt, and hologram. So this is everything that comes in the box. You got your figure, of course. You got a couple of lightsabers, one ignited, and let's check out the paint apps on this. So the sculpt is really good, very nice details. And the paint, for the most part, is pretty good. Not so much overspray, a little bit here and there, but nothing too bad. I love the style of the blade because it matches the aesthetic of the show with that basically aggressive tip point. You also get an unignited or just the saber hilt. If we focus, there we go. Again, very good molding, and for the most part, the paint is pretty good. So we do have this time around a Ahsoka hologram on a holo projector. I really like the way they weathered this detail. I think they did a good job on it. And on the hologram, you can pretty much tell who it is, even at this small scale. So I think they did a good job on this as well. Your 3 sets of hands. And once again, I have to recognize the matching aesthetic of the show with the long and symmetrical elongated fingers. So kudos to Sideshow for doing this. However, they definitely lost points on this base. Very simple looking, very plain, nothing to it, very thick, and it's not even that heavy, so I'm not too sure what they were going for. Once again, this is the top of it, and this is the bottom, which still makes no sense. Then we have the usual crotch grabber, which for figures like this, I would think they should do a like the hip holder so that you can have it in more dynamic poses, but this is what you get. Let's just focus on the figure itself. Okay, so once again we got the Jedi robe, and to me it looks a little bit lighter the shade of the cloth than it should be. I think it should be a little bit darker than this, but I could just be misremembering. And once again, troopers, remember that we are taking a look at this figure based on the Clone Wars look of the character, not necessarily the realistic actor proportions. So let's start off with the actually, let me just finish off with the robe. Just like my comments on the Obi-Wan Kenobi review, I am not a fan of it. They're basically the same thing. You see these stitches right here? These are on the outside of the robe, which again, I don't fully understand why they went that route. And then this one, I just can't get over. Smack in the middle of the hood. Got that pretty bad stitching. A lot of extra cloth. So if this would have been wire, that would have been awesome because you could do a lot with it. But it's not, so it's just kind of, cumbersome to try to get it into a proper pose. So again, my recommendation is honestly just take it off. There we go, much better. So let's go from top to bottom. Okay, so let's address the potential elephant in the room, because when Sideshow revealed this figure, the Anakin looked not good at all. It had a lot of over darkened eyes. The skin looked like it was not featured, or without features, I mean, and very glossy. I'm happy to report, at least for this copy here, that is not the case. As a matter of fact, I think they kind of nailed it on the portrait. Check out the scar, it looks good right there. The eyes, to me, look just about right. Maybe they do have a little bit more of the dark lines around them than necessary, but nowhere near as some other reviews that I've been watching for this figure. So I think we lucked out on this one. Hair looks good, layered, different shades on the color. Neck looks good, looks about the same as the show. So we go for articulation. We got almost nothing going upwards because of that hair. Just basically hits the back of the neck. Going forward, oh, we got a pretty good level of tilt right there. Of course, swivel side to side, very good. And side to side tilt, yeah, really good actually. So yeah, I think the portrait, that's what I was most, I guess, afraid of. Moving on with the body. So he does look a little bit taller than Obi-Wan Kenobi, which should be the case, again based on the look for the Clone Wars. I'm still not a huge fan of this cloth for the Jedi, I guess the Jedi clothing. It just reveals too much the texture of it. And you can see some of the stitching and those patterns. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. These guys look pretty good. Basically the pleather that he's supposed to have. I think the shade of blue, grayish is spot on. So I actually do like the way these look. For the arms, same thing, not a whole lot of a stretch. I will say that this covers seem kind of short to me for some reason, but again, I may be just misremembering the character. I don't know, this proportion seems a little bit off at first sight. I don't know if it's because it has the fist hands that they look smaller. There's something about this here that I can't put my finger on, but it looks not 100% right. Anyway, so once again we got some bendy wire for dynamic poses on his pleather right there, so that's good. And then the legs, I think it's the right shade. For the pants, this cloth looks a lot better actually. See, you don't get the weird patterns like you do up here. The color is fine. And once again, guys, they nailed it on the boots. Look at this. Long, slender, very symmetrical. Yeah, this absolutely portrays the way he looked in the TV show, in the animation. Not so much for up and down on the ankle. more of a side-to-side swivel. But like I said, the aesthetic is really good. Let's check out the articulation real quick. And again, I'm not gonna do any crazy poses because these figures are not mine. So there you go. I would say that's about an 89-degree bend on the knees. Elbows. Yeah, fairly okay. Does not reach all the way into itself, but it does get you pretty close for some different poses. The extension of the arm, I guess it doesn't reach the whole flat. I do believe we still have, yeah, butterfly joints on the shoulders. Ab crunch, let's see, just about there, so not a whole lot. On the way back actually seems to give you more room or a bigger angle on the back crunch. So yeah, overall standard, but in general, like once you look at it as a whole thing, I think this guy looks great. Quick comparison between Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Anakin figure. As you can see, Anakin is slightly taller, which again, it is supposed to be the way that it looked in the show. Also, you see sort of a difference on the neck. Again, that is accurate. But check this out. Now that I have them like next to each other, look at those fists. Look at the fists from Anakin and the ones from Obi-Wan. This looked absolutely bigger. So I don't know. Am I tripping out here? So I just had to pull off, the fist hands from Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin. And I don't know, guys. I'm pretty sure the ones from Anakin are significantly smaller. But you let me know down in the comments. What did you guys think? I think the ones on Obi-Wan look just fine with the figure, but the ones on Anakin, I don't know, they stand out to me for some reason. But yeah, looking at them like this, definitely smaller. Okay, troopers, let's start wrapping up this review. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. For me, this looks really good overall. Yes, there are definitely things that I did not like about it. And once you remove the Jedi robe, I think it just improves it quite a bit. But again, what I was most concerned about was that portrait. And I don't know if Sideshow, reworked it before the release. But yeah, it's day and night compared to the prototypes that they had shown before. So I think overall, yes, they did a good job on it. It definitely matches the aesthetic of the TV show, which again is nowhere to be named on the packaging. So I still find that a little bit weird. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you own this figure? Did you get one that has the sort of weird portrait or the over darkened eyes? Please let me know again down in the comments. Also, do not forget to leave your like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much if you already have. And I would greatly appreciate it if you can share the content with people you think would enjoy it.
Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.